Welcome to Sober Shenanigans. Real talk and real recovery, sharing stories, old and new, trying to stay on the right path and help others just like you. So feel our flow and get on with the show. Here's your hosts, Stoff and Primo. So let's get it.
We're getting it.
Nice. So, welcome to Sober Shenanigans, real talk and real recovery. We're just two garden variety alcoholics trying to get better every day, one day at a time, trying to help somebody here on this planet called Earth, where it's hard every day. We might as well make the most of it. I am your main man, Stoff, and with me, as usual, is my man, Hunter Grand Primo. What's up, Primo?
Dude, what's going on, man? It's nice to be back after the holidays. Got some of the Christmas shit put away. Got the garage cleaned out, which I'm really stoked about. I would come home, I'm like, God damn it, I didn't buy it. I felt like I bought a thrift shop or something. I can't have a garage sale. My wife will bring everything back in. If I try to sell it, she'll say, no, I want to keep that. I want to keep that. I want to keep that. I'm like, no. So I'm not even going to do that. I secretly throw stuff away. It's been a relief. It was great to see the family. And, it's this time of year is special. It can be a little stressful as well. I'm more of a Thanksgiving guy. I love just the no pressure. The Lions play, even though they suck.
Well, plus you're a chef.
Yes.
Thanksgiving is big for chefs.
Yes. And Lions screwed it up this year somehow. But the turkey was moist, at least on Thanksgiving. Usually it gets a little dry when they're having a bad year, And but also this, during this break we had a little week off. I threw an episode on with Detroit Lou. A little lazy. We threw an old up and I said, well, who was the best episode of the year? And it was Detroit Lou. He had over 300, almost 400 downloads.
Wow.
So I wanted to honor him and play that, or the episode of the year or whatever, and I tried to do a recap. And then I was struggling to figure out how. I mean, we were down to one state left, Hawaii.
Right.
And I was like, I needed to find somebody from Hawaii to download the episode so that we could go nationwide, every single state now. And it did happen. We got 2 downloads in Hawaii. But every single state in America, the whole nation, has downloaded our podcast. So we're nationwide, baby.
Yeah. All right. Hooray. Yeah.
I'm like,
Love
super
that.
stoked.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So
nice. Well, we are back from the holidays, and today we've got a special guest with us. We've got my main man, Tommy from Southie. Tommy, how you doing today, buddy?
Good stuff, man. No, a privilege to be here. Grateful for it, man.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. Tommy's a great dude. I got to meet him a couple of months ago. We actually worked together, and I kept wondering why him and I were always the first ones in the office. And then I figured out we're probably the only ones that are not hungover. And so we kind of got together, and then I ran into him at a meeting that I go to all the time, and I was like, yo, what are you doing here? I'm not, what are you doing here? But you're so great to see you. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And so it's awesome to have you on, man. We're really glad to have you. Tommy is another one that represents kind of the younger skew. We have a lot of older guys that have been on the show, so we really appreciate you coming on. We're going to hear some more about your story. So why don't you, if you don't mind, let's just kick it off. Tell us, maybe when you got sober and maybe a little bit about how that came about, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So my sobriety date's 2/23/22. Got sober, a little after I turned 30. And I went to my first AA meeting around 13, 14 years old. And basically, I grew up in AA halls, right? Both my parents are in this program.
Oh.
My father's got, she's like 37, 38 years. And my mother's got 6 now. But just growing up, my mother was an active addiction. She was an active heroin addict. And, I lived with my mother. I didn't live with my father. They got separated when I was younger. And, it just kind of grew up in chaos, to put it, plainly. I just grew up in the projects in South Boston, and it's just, you don't realize it is chaos, though, because everything around you is chaos. It's just the norm. So it was what it was, and I honestly I wouldn't trade it for the world. I loved it. I loved where I grew up. I loved the people. I didn't love it enough to not move to Florida. I hated the cold. The seasonal depression was a real thing, and once I met my wife, she reminded me of that every day. So, no, man, and like since I moved out here, been trying to find a good routine. The gifts of sobriety have been flowing in. I got a little girl now.
Sweet.
Just bought the house, and
Nice.
so it's like I'm trying to prioritize the right things and make sure my recovery is coming first. Mm-hmm. But when you move in, there's a lot of shit that comes with it, man, and just all just things to be grateful for, man. So when I got the opportunity to come on here and just talk about gratitude and sobriety, man, there's nothing better than it. So I appreciate the opportunity here for sure.
Dude, you're in the sweet spot, right? How long you been sober?
I'll be 4 years.
See, okay, so you're in the uphill trajectory. You had that downhill swing for a few years. So you got sober, now you're on the uphill swing. You got the kid, got the new job, you just moved, you got a house. Like this is the year that you're going to be, you're building this whole foundation. And that's awesome, man. That's powerful stuff, and it's really like I wish I could go back. Like I'm kind of established where I'm at, but man, that whole journey is such an awesome feeling. It's really important.
No, for sure, man.
Yeah. What's interesting about what you just said is you stayed with your mom, who was in active addiction, while your dad was in the program. It seems like it should have been the other way around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, my father had 2 roommates, so it's kind of tough, and I'm one of 3, so, my father drove a cab growing up. He was a laborer as well. Honestly, my father is probably the best guy I know on this planet.
That's
the
great.
amount of people he's helped. Still, like all my buddies that I was sponsoring, I passed over to my father when I moved out here.
Yeah.
They run around with him. He works a program. He goes to meetings 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
It's still, the guy got sober before he turned 21.
Wow.
And it's just, and when you're young and he's handing you the little AA books and stuff and trying to give you little hints and stuff, you don't want to hear it, right? And I resented my father for trying to put me in the AA when I was young, and today I'm just so grateful I had that, like him there to be able to, because I didn't just call him and I figured this out. There was many, many years of me calling him saying I'm all done, and a lot of pain in between there, and it's just to the fact that he never once tried to turn away from me. He was just always there and put me in the right people in front of me, or saying, hey, can you give him a talk, because he's not listening to me. So he's and my mother is she just had a tough time with this, like and then heroin's a lot more serious than the booze, and I watched her, and when I was really at my bottom, she was just getting clean. So today, for a long time, I bounced around a lot as a kid. I grew up with my grandparents, lived with different relatives and stuff. But I always, when it's your mother, it's different. You don't really I never really had too many resentments against her because, at times I did when I was young. But, now it's just that our relationship is so much better because all 3 of us share this bond of sobriety, which you guys know. Like Greg, I see you at the meeting. It's like, this dude's sober. Let's go. It's like it's so much different than just like oh, you golf or you're a basketball guy. It's like when someone else is sober, they live by these principles that are important to you, and it doesn't matter if they're 80 years old or 17. You're gonna relate to them. So it's always good to meet somebody who's sober.
Dude, that's the cool thing, because I moved a lot in sobriety. I had to start over, and it's like, I'm so far ahead of the curve, man. When you go somewhere else and you plug into a meeting and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're the new guy. Yeah. And everybody's just like, it's like that they wrap their arms around you. And so whenever I see somebody move and they're new, I want to go up and talk to them. I want to say hello. Here's my number, dude. Here, let's golf, whatever it is. But it's such a head start, man. And Definitely. It's like, and you got to remember that now, because when somebody else comes in, you got to do the same thing. Definitely. We kind of circulate that and recycle that. Yep. It's awesome shit.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think that was huge when I came out here too. You know, I did what I was told. You know, like in the beginning, you know, you raise your hand and say you knew. And
Yep.
you know, I just just moved down here. You know, I'm just trying to build a network and create a routine, and you know, get those. You guys have those blue books out here with where the meetings are at, and I got 27 phone numbers on the back of it before I leave. You know, it's just that goes to show you this program, man.
Are you using them?
Huh?
Are you using them?
I not much. No.
Okay,
I'd be
nobody
lying if I
does, but
said,
we still give them out.
No, but you know, they're there. They're there. I got them.
I
didn't
know.
throw it away.
I know. I have to ask.
Yeah. The great thing is I still have my list of numbers in my big book in the back, and it's from the meeting that I go to now, and still like 5 or 6 of those guys are in the meeting.
Yeah.
And every once in a while it'll fall out, and I'll look and I'll go, oh, he's still here, he's still here, he's still here. Because, you know, we do see a lot of people come in and go out. And I'm wondering, when you were younger and you first started getting sober, did you have some friends that tried it along with you that didn't stick?
Yeah, I mean, so I had to go to. So it's actually a funny story. I had to go to Quarter Point AA because me and all my friends got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember what it was. You know, it was just drinking when we were kids. But I remember telling my mother, I'm like, hey, don't tell Dad, right? Just don't tell Dad. Like, I don't want to listen to him. Like, you know, she's like, all right, I'm not going to tell your father. So I go up to South Boston Courthouse for the AA, and my father is the one running that class. And I'm like, fuck, you know. Wow. And, you know, 3 of my buddies are already in there shaking their head like we're screwed, you know. Like, as my father, he coached us in sports and stuff too. He was always around, and you know, there were kids who did figure it out before I did, but you know, when you're that young, you know, 14, 15 years old, it's hard to even do it in your 20s.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm still having fun. I'm not ready to do this yet. So they were definitely the big, what they call them, jackpots along the way that, you know, you had some telltale signs that, hey, there might be a problem, but the pain just wasn't great enough yet to really find my way there yet. So,
you know, the Boston AA it's definitely a very passionate black belt area of our program for sure.
Yeah.
They're pretty serious.
Yeah.
It
was definitely a culture shock down here with the AA. Just like it's a lot. I mean, it's an older crowd in Florida to begin with, right?
Right.
But the style of meetings are different, right? You have speaker meetings in Boston. You know, like I'm part of the Meeting House Hill group. We're in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and city of Boston, and we go to other groups and we share our experience, strength, and hope. And it's like 20 of us rolling deep into all those meetings, you know, a couple times a week, and then we have our own home group. So it was like I didn't have to go and really build anything out. It was always there for me. So coming out here, I got to find what I like, and I go to a couple of meetings, you're like, oh, it wasn't for me, and you know, the early morning meeting was great. I love that, you know, and the Saturday morning meeting there, the step group, great. You know, so. And then you're like, oh, I wonder what else is out there. You know, I got to try, you know, check the scene. But
you got to get over to that Friday meeting in Tampa that one time.
I do.
One time with Connor or with us or with
Connor,
somebody.
I got to make it over there. There's just so much stuff going on right now, but I can't wait till I settle in and get over there, man.
Yeah.
I'll bring you
guys.
guys. We'll make a run. I'm in.
Yeah, he's old money over there. He's been in that meeting forever. Yeah. He's our boy. He's our boy Connor's grand sponsor.
Yeah, Connor told me that today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
He gave a little respect because he hadn't been a little respectful lately. I'm going to have to fucking straighten him out, you know?
I actually listened to Connor. I texted you. I listened to the Connor's podcast. I was like, it's good stuff, man.
Can you believe he gave me some shit at the end of the show? I know. I'm like, this kid. And I didn't edit that out. I let it in there.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's what I just said to myself. Keep coming, Connor. Keep coming.
If I could make him do 20 push-ups, I would totally do it, but I can't. So
clear the table off.
Plus, he'd knock him out. He does strongman, not strongman. He does those marathons and shit.
Whatever. I'll figure out some punishment.
Yeah.
Damn it.
There you go.
No, he's a great kid. Great kid.
Yeah. So if I'm doing the math correctly in my head from what you said, your mom is almost 4 years too?
6.
6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was 2 years ahead of you, roughly.
Yeah. And,
okay.
And your dad? I didn't get the dad. How?
He's been sober coming up on 40 years. Like he's like 30
Oh, no
years.
shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. He got sober at like 20 years old. So he'll be 59.
Did I wondered, because he was sober, do you think your mom stayed away? I mean, I know it was heroin, which is tough, but it's kind of like, it's almost like that. If you're married, and I have been married a long time, but if I was to break up with my wife, I would do the opposite of whatever she does. You think there was a little of that in there?
I think, a little bit of yes and no, right? I think when I was young, there was a constant, just battle between the two of them. I'm living this good life, like, sobriety, and you're the one that has my 3 kids, and you're using drugs all the time, right?
Yeah.
And my mother would bounce in and out of detoxes. Like, I remember I woke up one day and she just left. I didn't see her for over like 9 months.
Wow.
So she went down to Florida and just couldn't stay sober and was just bouncing around. And, I lived with her brother and sister and, and my grandparents. And, it was just like my mother had a really tough go at it. And she's lucky to be here, honestly. She's had a couple of different heart valve surgeries and stuff. And, she just had surgery again the other day. But, she works a program now. She talks about gratitude. And, it's like what I remember is like, and I remember the mom who worked 3 jobs to take care of me and my brother and sister, right? Like I remember that a whole lot more than I do the mom who, was overdosing and stuff like that. So for my dad, I can't only imagine how hard that was for him at the same time. And when it came down to it, though, and my mother was trying to get in treatment centers and stuff, my father was the one who got her in them. My father has a lot of connections in that stuff, and I'd say my mother's sober because of my father, regardless of them being divorced or not. My father would go above and beyond for her. Like I said, my father he's a top tier guy, man. I'm very lucky to have him in my life, as well as my mother.
They're both still up there?
Yeah, both still up there. My father's going to come down soon. He goes on a cruise for the Super Bowl every year with like 30 sober guys. So this is the first year I'm not going, but they always go out of Port Canaveral.
Oh,
so
perfect.
He'll be down this way.
There's a chance the Patriots.
Big chance, man.
I mean, I guess you guys would be Patriots fans, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we were there for a lot of the games. The 28-3 game we were there for. I was there for the Philly loss, but we got a lot of good Super Bowl cruises in with the Pats.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool though.
That's very cool. I love those types of traditions, especially when there's soberness involved. I never had any idea that ever. Of course, we don't know all the great stuff that sobriety brings. Definitely. Right? We just think it's nerdy or square. We're not going to do that when we're not doing it. Right? I waited till I was 50 to get sober. I should have done it way before. I wish I'd done it way before. But anyway, I rolled into that golf tournament that he had. The Goker with the poker and the golf was a fantastic time. I mean, and now I'm doing a lot more things with the sober people, and it's just as fun, if not more fun, because there's no time in the party where everyone becomes an idiot.
Exactly.
Which, when I'm around drunk people now, I see it. Like New Year's Eve, we were with some friends, and I can mark the time when everything switched. And in fact, when I've been sober 3 years now. I just got my 3rd year. You were there. Like my first year, I would talk about this, that I would still go out with all my same old friends, and then I would leave. And I was having lunch with my buddy, and he goes, we realize when you leave, we're all taking it a little too far. So it's like, okay, well, when Greg leaves, maybe we should slow down.
Yeah.
Because he just left. And I was like, I didn't even really know I was doing that, but yeah, I was doing that. Once you guys get to that idiot spot,
definitely,
which I was king of for a long time, and of course didn't know it and didn't think it, but there's that. We like to say on this show that it's a life hack. Life just gets better the more and longer that we're sober, because more things are open to us, more freedom is available to us. We're not scared of doing something. We don't have fear of trying something. Just try about anything we can. And you guys were talking about the community and how helpful it is. And I was looking for a gig for 6 months, something new to do, and I'm basically from here. And I ran through my network, and I got nothing. And then it came this network that we're in, got me where I'm at today. Absolutely. With you, and I can't thank the guys that got me in more than possible. It was just it was a new group that I jumped into that helped me the fuck out.
Absolutely.
But you know what's crazy when you say that? Because, the people that were helping you are getting so much more out of it than even you, because that's the beauty of this thing.
I don't know. You don't know that. I didn't know that, but now I know that.
Yeah, because like when you, all right, first of all, you come in and you're like, you're not even capable of. I was unemployable, right? And then all of a sudden, like, I'm getting my shit together, and then I'm actually helping somebody, and their life's getting better. Like, and I mean, I'm not, I'm not God. Like, I know they have their own God and everything, but when you can help another person and you watch their growth, it's the greatest reality show on the planet. You know, and I sit back and I'm kind of a watcher of people, and I like to hear their stories of their struggles. And then all of a sudden, you see that guy, he just moves to Florida and buys a house. And he's got a kid. You know what I mean? And you see that and you're like, damn. I remember when that guy was mumbling and stumbling, and he doesn't even remember it. And that's such the goods. Those are the goods, man.
Yeah. So, Tommy, did you move to Florida to get a new life, or did you? I know you have some people here, an uncle and such.
Yeah.
But did you were like, look, I got to get out of Southie. I got to start over. Was that kind of your move?
Well, like the cost of living over there is just insane. And me and my wife moved in with her parents for like past 3 years to save money for a house.
So they're here?
No,
or they were up there?
They're up there.
Okay.
They're coming down in like a week to stay with us, but we're lucky to have them, honestly, because like just to be able to have that and save some money, it went a long way. And me and her both knew we wanted to live out here, and just like like the man upstairs had a plan, because I'm looking for. I had my job, but I was looking for something better. And I know before it was a company that I had lost a lot of deals to, I guess. I'd always hear about Know Before and my other job, and I was in a similar space. And it's just, it was easy to kind of transfer over there and, make the jump. So once I saw that post, I was like, I'm going to just do this thing, man. I want to, get out of here. And,
nice.
And, it's been great. I haven't regretted it once. And, it's nice being able to walk around in December and January and not freeze your ass off. So,
yeah, I had to break out the jeans like a couple times a couple weeks ago. And the hoodie. Yeah. I wasn't too thrilled about that.
Yeah.
But you get used to it.
And it never lasts long. Us guys, I've been down a long time, but being from up north, having that 1-2 day spurt of cold is kind of cool. Like, oh, I remember this. This ain't so bad. And then day 3, it gets warm up. Oh, yeah. This is where it's at.
Exactly.
That's definitely where it's at.
It's like a temporary fashion show for me. I got like this cool jacket. I have a nice leather. And
you gotta wear it.
I never wear the goddamn.
You gotta wear it when it's chilly, because you won't get another chance to wear it. That's when the good jackets come out. All the time.
My hot chilies. I got some hot chili underwear too.
Well, now
there's
a time and place, man.
do they actually warm up, or
you never heard of hot chilies?
No, that's a thing.
You are a true Florida boy. Yeah, I mean they're up. No, but they're like thermals. So when you go skiing, and you put these on, it's like you're toasted.
Yeah.
I mean you're toasty, and everything's good. I used to wear legs, the nylon stockings.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we would wear those when it was cold to go skiing.
Yeah,
and it was sort of a hack. Like these were like hot chilies before they even. And you didn't want to tell anybody you were wearing women's stockings, but those things kept you warm, man.
Are you talking about long underwear? You talking about long johns?
Yeah, but they're like they're like yoga pants, dude. Chilies? They're like a whole different.
Are you aware of these chili
briefs with like hot sauce on them?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was like chilies on them or some shit.
There are people that are going to listen to this episode that know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
I can't believe I revealed it on here though. It's a little personal.
I mean, I was wondering where that was going. But.
Anyway, back to him. Leave me alone.
Right. Of course. So you had mentioned before that you are one of 3. So tell us about your brother and sister, brother and brother. What do you got?
Yeah. So I'm the oldest. I have a sister, Emily. She's we're Irish twins, so pretty close in age. My brother Sean's 4 years younger than me, but we grew up very tight, very close. They're both still in Boston, and my sister is one that during COVID she had like a almost died from it essentially, which is kind of strange. Kind of came out of nowhere, and
Wow.
she had like influenza type B shortly before, and something happened with COVID that but to the point where they called my father and told him to come say goodbye to his daughter because she wasn't going to make it through the night.
No.
And she lost all of her hair, was on breathing machines, and I remember this because I was on like a 3 or 4 day bender, and no one had heard from me, and my father's calling me, telling me, you got to come see your sister. Like, she's not going to make it through the night.
Right. Damn.
And my father basically pulled me out of the bar room and drove me there. She was like in Worcester, which is like, 45 minutes outside of Boston. I get there, and, I'm wearing the mask, and I got like my hat on low, and I'm just all banged up. And I'm looking at her, and she's, got the tube down her throat and so on all these machines, and I'm looking at her through the glass window, and I couldn't even cry. I felt absolutely nothing for her. And it's kind of where drugs and alcohol had taken me, right? I was just so numb to anyone else besides myself. All I could think about was I want to keep drinking. I want to keep doing what I want to do. This is going to mess how I feel right now. I don't want to do that, right? And I walked away from that. It really bothered me, and I talk about that a lot when I speak at meetings, because it's just like what alcohol and drugs can take from you. It's more than just like the materialistic things. It's the way you live your life as a person and the feelings you feel, right? When you first get sober, all the feelings that start to come back. That's why it's hard to stay sober in the beginning, because you're like, you're angry and you're happy and you're sad. You're crying at commercials on TV, and it's all of the shit at once that you just suppress for so long with booze and drugs. And but my sister, I'll never forget, there was full halls of AA people all across Boston praying for my sister when she was sick. And my father says it, and I always say it. I believe in the power of prayer, just from that, because she made a recovery that they didn't see was fit. She actually had lost her baby. She was pregnant with her
Jesus, man.
And now she has a little boy. She was able to have a kid. They told her she'd never be able to have kids. She has a son she asked me to be the godfather of. And, things that I would have never been considered to be the godfather of anybody, never mind an uncle or anything. And, it's just what I've been able to get back from putting one thing away. It's just second to none, man. And, I have a great relationship with my sister now. And, my brother, and he has his days, me and him are very similar, so we butt heads a lot. He's just a big brute, and he doesn't want to listen to anybody, but he might be one of us. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not for me to say, but no, but good people. I love them very much. I'll do anything for them, but they're built tough for sure.
Yeah.
Two of them.
That's crazy that she got that sick and that close, and the power of prayer is definitely real. I can tell you that for sure.
Definitely.
I see it in my own life for sure.
Yeah.
And something like that. Now, was that also a catalyst in you getting sober, do you think, seeing her like that?
It took a little bit of time, but I think that it didn't go away, that feeling of just disgust, and there was a ton of stuff that had happened to me that you would think all right, he's going to figure it out, right? That little voice in my head, I wake up in a jail cell or a hospital bed. I'm like, all right, this is going to be what gets us sober now.
Right.
It was never it, and
everyone has a different bottom.
Yeah,
that.
And this guy in my group, Tommy A, back home, he always says rock bottom has a basement. Because you can keep going, man. You know, and
there's always a trapdoor.
Exactly, and for me, there was no intervention, there was no detox or rehab center or special motivational quote that was going to get me sober. I had to suffer enough. It was just eventually I had suffered enough, and that was it. Boom. I just had enough. I just decided I don't want to do this shit anymore. And I thought I had that revelation about 10,000 times along the way. But, I remember just picking up the phone and calling my father again for the 10,000th time and saying, I don't want to do this. And he told me to call another Tommy. That was a funny part about my home group back home, me in House Hill. There's about 7 Tommies in it. So we called the group of Tommies. We go to speak at meetings, and everyone thought we were messing with them because we were all named Tommy. But yeah, and I went to a meeting, and my buddy Connor was there. Different Connor, but we used to run around together, and he was there, and you could just tell, like, by looking at him, he was sober and cleaned up. And he is a guy who's very, very successful, right? And was able to manage that success and still, drink and drug the way that we did.
Yeah.
And if I just honestly believe him being there that day is what helped me continue to show up and build enough time to be able to, like, really work the program, and find a higher power and start to get into the steps. And because it was like, someone else, and I didn't know he was talking to my father.
No.
I had no idea, and he was like, yeah, but I called your father and run the meetings with your father, and he's my sponsor today, Connor, and
Cool.
He's a director in sales. He's had massive amount of success, and I look to him, and not just for friendship, but for just advice and work, and he's just and like he sends me the daily reflection every day, and we talk, all the time, and she's like my brother, man, and I'm very grateful for Connor, and that's why when I came down here, I was like, I don't want to get another sponsor, dude. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep talking to you because it's just we've built such a great relationship that I can talk to him about anything.
Yeah.
And having that friendship beforehand, that like, because I've had friends that have come into the program where I've known them since we were little kids, and I told them I can't sponsor you. Mm-hmm. It's just like too tough. Like I know you too well. When me and Connor were that fine line between like we were acquaintances, and then like we became great friends in sobriety. So, it's just everything. My father said when I first came in, and he said if you write down 10 things that you want out of your first year of sobriety, and you sell yourself short 10 times out of 10. And I was like, okay,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I can make that mine. I'm going to take that and make it mine.
You gonna take that?
Yeah.
For your next sponsee?
The people are going to be saying, "Hey, you hear what he said at the meeting?"
Or a bunch of notebooks come out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna own that one.
Is your dad's name Tommy?
He's Tommy. It's Tommy.
Is your daughter's son named Tommy?
No. Lennox. Lennox,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, they
Cool
went.
name.
They went off they veered off the Tommy
big
path,
time,
didn't they?
Big time. My dad still can't say it right. Well, I think about my
On
father.
purpose, or?
He just like can't pronounce things right. It's hilarious.
It's a Boston thing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's really cool is, when you get sober and something happens where you can be of service where you wouldn't have been able to before, which brings me real quick. So Christmas Eve of this year, it's 11:45 at night, and my daughter calls, and her tire blew out on the highway in Tampa coming home. And I jump in the car. I got to go help my daughter, right? She's by herself. Tire blew. And all I could think about was, holy shit. If this had been 4 Christmases ago, there's no way I could go get her at 11:30 at night. I'd have been plastered, passed out.
Oh, man.
I mean, I couldn't have drove. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I was able to was just another blessing of sobriety. And I was almost like happy to do it. Like I knew she was safe because I was talking to her on the phone. Are you safe? She goes, yeah, I found a lit parking lot, all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, you can stay on the phone with me. You want? She goes, no, I don't feel that. I don't feel like I'm threatening or whatever. I'm scared. I'm good. Just, come get me. Yeah. So I'm driving over there. And I'm almost smiling like, oh my God, I'm sober. I can do this. Like my daughter can count on me at 11:45 on Christmas Eve because this is the only time, besides the last couple, because I'm sober, that I could pull that off. So stuff like that makes me think of what it made me think of when you were talking about going to see your mom in the hospital. And if something came up after that, man, you'd be clear. Like you'd be clear-headed. You could step up. You could handle the situation, which is another great life hack of being sober is we can handle any situation. There's no situation that worries us or scares us because we got all our wits about us now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't think I want to get any diagnoses from the doctors up there, though. Jesus Christ.
From
Everybody's you're gonna die. Everyone's dying. I'm like, I got a little bit of resentment, you know.
Yeah.
You want them to be a little more. Well, not in that case. You want them to be wrong, but geez,
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty.
It's really cool that both your folks are sober and that your mom is sober. Unfortunately, my mom died of emphysema and alcoholism, and I watched it right after COVID 2021, and you know, it just is heartbreaking, and you know, my her husband, you know, my stepdad wanted to put that she died of something else. And I was like, nah, we're not putting that she died of COVID or anything. She didn't die of that. She died of, you know, because she was drinking up until the day that she got put in the hospital, and she couldn't breathe because she had emphysema. And then she went through the DTs, which made her worse. And like, I knew her nurse. Her nurse was my neighbor. And my nurse was even like, you know, I see this quite a bit. I wish I could give her a drink because it would help with the DTs that are killing her right now.
Yeah.
But you can't sneak a drink into the hospital, whatever.
Jeez. So,
you know, I'm a little envious. I wish my mom would have got sober prior to her passing, but I'm glad that your folks are doing good, and your dad's helping so many people. That's really cool. Yes.
Yeah, I like the sound of your old man. You know what I mean? My old man was sober, but he got the message from the doctor that he had to quit, and he did. And he didn't go. He didn't do any of the meetings or anything like that, but he was a little crispy, I would say.
How did you choose here? How did you choose the Tampa area?
So my family was in Newport Richey, in Palm Harbor. So
okay,
it's
there
kinda,
it is.
You know, my grandparents were in Tampa for a long time, so it's kind of just the happy medium of it all.
You come down and visit and see the place?
Me and my wife got married at Shepherd's in Clearwater. So like, geez, 3 years ago.
So you're sober at Shepherd's?
Yeah, I was sober.
Oh,
yeah,
man, I don't know anybody who's sober at
know.
Shepherd's.
No one else was. But
No.
They call it Shepherd's Shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of shenanigans.
Dude, we've been going there for 30 years.
Yeah.
It used to have no rules. You could pull a boat right up there, pull coolers right up there. A lot of stuff went down at
I
Shepherd's.
bet, man.
You could pull a lot of bikinis out of there, too.
Oh, yeah. Those are good
Yeah, the
days.
place is great.
Oh, yeah.
And we had like, you know, her cocktail and my cocktail, and my cocktail, I had all my sober guys there. So I had Red Bull Lime Rickies for mine, and she had like margaritas for hers. So we were all revved up on Red Bull out there, and you know, just had a blast, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Red Bulls. You know, it's interesting. You know, the things we can do when we get sober, I did a lot of excess. You know what I mean? It was smoking cigars, or it didn't matter, man. If you know, Red Bulls, I have a 6-pack of Red Bulls, no big deal.
Yeah.
That shit does catch up with you, though. Yeah,
Oh, that shit is
I know, but you know what?
gasoline.
I can still to this day. I can have cappuccino right now and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just impervious to these stimulants.
Oh, I do everything in excess, man.
Yeah, everything.
It's nothing.
That's our personality.
Yeah, it's just everything.
So, are you Italian?
I'm not. I'm Irish.
Okay, so, but Boston has the best Italian food, man. Oh,
I worked in the North End for a long time.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's next level.
Yeah.
So love that about Boston, and just the whole thing. There's a lot of passion in Boston, a lot of history too. It's a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of good things to do. You know, when you're young and you're getting sober, something that's really important is to stay busy. You know, and stick with the winners. You know, you were sticking with the winners. It sounded like you found a good guy, got into a good group. Your old man was shepherding you from beyond. He wasn't too controlling, but he kind of put some players in there. But you know, whether it's going to sports events, concerts, you know, just being able to go out and really taste life. Definitely. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, God knows, you know, there's. You know, it was hard to drink socially, and it was even harder to do drugs socially. I mean, forget it. You know what I mean? When are you going to invite people over, rent a movie, and crawl around on your carpet looking for rocks and shit?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just one of those things that you alienate yourself. But when you get sober, man, it's so important to just get out, do all that stuff, start living.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's definitely. I never went to concerts or anything like that, or you know, went to did a golf trip to Myrtle Beach, and just a bunch of shit that I would have never done. One, I wouldn't have had the money to do.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the money would have went up my nose, or, you know. But it was just, and I start to like really live your life, and because even the things if I did go do something, I wasn't fully there mentally. I was checked out. I was thinking the whole time, how are we gonna get drugs, right? Like, who in here has drugs,
right?
And if you weren't as concerned about that as I was, there was a problem. So
the ritual, there was a ritual that you had to go through the ritual. First of all, you had to go do some kind of responsible thing. So you weren't like a total loser. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe work or do something, somewhat like the citizens were doing. And then, it was, all bets were off after that, and then it was, okay, who's got what, it's like, and then there was never enough. You know what I mean? It was just never enough. And that's what made me different, and I just knew. And then there was the bargaining with myself. Oh, tonight, I'm just going to go have one. And never failed. As soon as I said I was going to have one, I was naked in the parking lot at 2 a.m. Naked. We can get naked down here because it's warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it always happened like that. But really great. That's a great roots, and to have that conviction of, that bottom, like, I was just done. I don't even think about it anymore. It's like it might as well be a bottle of bleach. It might as well have Skull and Crows. It doesn't mean anything to me. I have it in my house. My wife drinks. The holidays, there was plenty of drinking going on around me and stuff, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what anybody else does either. It's just I don't have a problem with it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with you're doing it or whether I'm not doing it. And I'm free.
Right. I mean, what do we learn? That no one cares what's in your glass anyway.
No.
They're just worried about their own glass.
I thought that made me cool.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, no. I was really uncool.
Yeah.
I never got invited to open bars when I was drinking. Now I get invited to them all the time. It's kind of annoying, actually.
Because you're not going to do any damage.
No. No. We're having open bar. Don't invite him. Yeah. That was for sure.
Yeah, my wife always used to tell me, more does not always mean better. And she'll still say that because I will go in excess sometimes eating or whatever. I'll do a little too much of whatever, not drugs and alcohol, thank goodness. And she'll be like, there he is. Yeah. More, more is not always better. And she's always right about that. And for years I just didn't listen. And finally I did start to listen. But
so both your wife's part of the deal too, then, right? So she plugging in as well. It's hard. It's tough with a kid.
No, he just said his wife had a margarita for her.
I thought it was
she doesn't really. She'll have a drink enough.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were having
nuts. I look at it like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. All right. So I before I got into sales, I was a bartender for a long time. And I remember just working the bar. I worked for Omni Hotels in the seaport of Boston, and people would come in. They're like, "Oh, I'm out of here. I'll see you later." And they get a half beer on the table. Mm-hmm. Fuck, you're not taking that with you?
Yeah.
I could finish that thing. It drive me crazy.
Right.
And I was sober. It was at the beginning of my sobriety, but then I would see, they have the work outings and stuff, and you see the guy who has one too many.
Right.
And you're like, I was that asshole.
Yeah.
I was the guy that didn't shut off and said I did this. Yeah. I just started yapping, right? And I'm yelling at people I don't know, and comments are on their shirt or something, just stupid shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought I was hilarious. And, it's just, I was just the guy. And, I think what I started drinking because of my anxiety. I just got crippling anxiety one day. I smoked a lot of pot and stuff throughout high school and college. And then I just all of a sudden just had severe anxiety, and I was eventually put on medicine for it, but I couldn't sleep at night. It just I feel my heart beating out of my chest, and so I started just drinking. And then to drink the way I wanted to drink, I had to start doing cocaine, and I got introduced to cocaine, and now I'm up for 3 days drinking and boozing, and at the end I'm drinking a half gallon of whiskey and just doing just endless amounts of cocaine because I had to, right? And you're talking about picking rocks up off the ground. I'd sniff fucking sheetrock, dude. Because I thought I might have found a freaking missing rock, right? And It was just like madness, man. And it's like looking back on it now, it is so much harder to do that than it was ever to get sober.
Cat litter was a problem.
Okay, yeah.
You know, please, dude. I mean, don't invite me to come over and sniff into your house if you got cat litter on your floor. I'll be crawling around there for days.
Oh,
I used to tell somebody I never wake up with coke.
no.
No, it's all gone.
My buddies would check my socks because I tell them, I'd be like, yeah, no, it's all gone. And it would be in my sock. You know, I'd be like, yeah, you know. Or we get like an A ball or something. I'm breaking off a
Classic
little
order.
rock. So when I go home, you know, I got a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I was always the great entrepreneur where I was going to I'll get a half or an 8. And then what I'll do is I'll sell some to help pay for it.
Uh-huh.
That shit never worked out.
Oh, I went down that road, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just.
And then that was somebody from me. It was a
Dude.
vicious cycle.
My college roommate, from Fort Lauderdale, and he showed up, after coming back from Thanksgiving break, and he had a boulder the size of a softball of Pure from Miami, and of course that's what we said. Okay, we're gonna shave some off, right, and we're gonna sell the rest. Blah blah blah. Man, we didn't sell none of it.
No.
We shaved that shit off every day for the semester.
Oh, yeah.
And we still talk about it. He's actually, I talked about him a couple of times on the show. On my episode, he's the one who helped me get sober. He saved my life in college, pulling me out of a river that was frozen, and he saved my life by pulling me out of alcoholism and got me to my first meeting. So I was lucky,
awesome.
but I remember those days real well.
Man.
So I got a question, not to change the subject, but maybe I'm going to change the subject a
Go
little
ahead.
bit. So in Boston, in the program, what is the so you said there's a lot of speaker meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the norm. But what about step tradition and some of the the whole other the 345 degrees of the program that's out there?
Yeah, so, I mean, we do a lot of AWOLs. So, you know, just a bunch of guys getting together.
Okay.
And going through the steps together and, you know, talking
You call it an AWOL?
an AWOL.
Okay. Absent without leave? Or, I mean, what is it?
I forget what it stands for, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Alcoholics wandering
Out
out
of line.
I'll see if I get it.
wandering around.
Okay, but so
life.
you guys would. So when you say would you get guys? Would you somebody bring a book and you guys sit down and you just kind of hash out the details?
Yeah, so you break it down by step. So, you know, you read the first step. You know, you go through, let's say, we'd have a sheet, and it would break it down based off the step and, like, what you talk about. And there'd be topics. Everyone goes around the room. And then just, like, kind of, you know, people, you know, you have the old timers there, then you have the beginner. And it's just kind of,
So that's not a scheduled meeting. That's just like a random
meeting.
Really?
So
Okay.
we like, do it in someone's backyard, or we do it in someone's basement. And, you know, just kind of like put it together ourselves. Yeah.
So, but all right. So, but they're all also men's meetings, women meetings, and all that too. Or?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to some, you know, meetings that are just all guys, and, you know, they're going through the book too. But I think the AWOL, what it was, is the same people every time. Once you get to a certain part of the book, no one else is coming in. You know, like it's tight knit. You know, you're really like working through the steps with each other.
Wow. So okay, I get it. I mean that's kind of like sticking with the winners. I had did a couple of like things at my house because I had a lot of guys that I was sponsoring at one time, and so I would have like these group get-togethers. I guess it's AWOL, and we would go through the steps because I couldn't do the steps individually. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
To try to do the steps individually, so I had to have like a group setting, and I was so cool back then, and but you know it was like a big deal to me, but at the same time, you know it was a little bit of it was about my ego too, you know, so I had to kind of check that, and you know, but
Yeah. Nice.
I got to ask my father what AWOL stands for because it's going to bother me this whole time. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he hits you back before the end of the show because we all want to know.
I know.
yeah, no, I think that's cool. I think that you know, the people take it serious, but they're also like protective of the content that they don't want it to get watered down.
Yeah.
They can say, "Hey, listen, we're doing this, but we ain't screwing around in here."
Definitely.
And I like that because I know that's kind of the vibe. I can just sense that
No,
that was
definitely.
the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's important, you know, that somebody passes that curates that that stuff that was given to them, and then make sure that they give it to the new guys so that they understand it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. And like keeping that structure, right? Because like when it's a bunch of guys shooting the shit, it can obviously get off track real quick. So
it's just a
having
foundation, man. It's
Yeah.
just a simple foundation. And then, you see people branch off in all these other directions. Like, whoa, slow down a little bit. Let's get back to basics and simple shit. Love that, man. Love it.
Yeah, Primo loves a black belt meeting. That's what he calls it.
Well,
You're a black belt. You're 33 years.
dude, I've seen a lot of cats fucking. They all don't have 9 lives, okay?
No,
So
that's true.
It's a real deal.
That's true.
So I'm passionate about it, but at the same time, I'm still gonna have fun.
Nice. Well, speaking of Boston, here on Sober Shenanigans, we like to do a celebrity quote on each show. Most shows, we do a celebrity quote. So I chose a guy from Boston. Our celebrity quote today is from Ben Affleck. And Ben says, I accidentally became one of the poster boys for actor alcoholism and recovery and that whole thing. And the best part about that is that sometimes people would walk up to me and say, hey man, can you please help me out? And it makes me feel good to do that. You know, the big trick of the 12-step programs is the reason they want you to help other people is because it actually helps you more.
Oh, nice.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I've been trying to get Anthony Hopkins to sponsor me. I can't get.
Is he alive?
Dude, he just celebrated 50 years.
Oh, nice.
Hannibal Lecter's got 50 years. I love his. I mean, when he talks, it's like, wow, this guy's so right on.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to have someone who's had more sobriety than you to sponsor you? Because if so, you're gonna have a tough time finding a new guy.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's just somebody who's got enough in it and sponsors.
I say that. The problem is I had the sponsor of all sponsors, and I've reached out and asked a few guys, but I mean, I had the guy.
Yeah, tell Tommy about your sponsor.
Dude, man, I mean, I just remember at his funeral, he almost passed away in a meeting in the parking lot. Like he had to get rushed to the hospital and then he passed away. And I was going to go to that meeting. But he was, he was the, if there was a Mount Rushmore in AA of Tampa, he's definitely one of the dudes up there. You know what I'm saying? But he just had a good vibe about him. He was super, super uber successful and smart, and he just commanded a lot of respect and dignity, But just had all the things that I wanted to, and to become, or even just to be part of it. Even a small part of it would have been great, And I don't know, man. But the funny thing about him is that when I looked at my phone differently after he passed, I was like, my phone used to have the answers to everything, like because his number was in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? No matter what was going on, if I was jammed up, I had the 911 to like the man himself. It was like so cool.
Yeah.
So I miss that,
Definitely.
and I think that I have got to loosen up on that and allow myself to have another relationship. It takes a long time to develop that trust with another man, and yeah, man, yeah. I'm going to have to, whether I like it or not. I think that it's a real important part of the program. Not everybody thinks they need a sponsor. I personally think that I don't want to drop that stuff on my wife. Even though we have a great relationship, I can tell her everything. I don't want to drop it on my friends, I want to be able to bring stuff to somebody and have them know all the dirt, so that they can say, okay, this, and they can click back a few chapters and say, okay, remember this or remember that. So, this is still the same stuff that's popping up. That's a defect that you got to kind of hammer out a little bit.
Definitely.
So it is what it is.
People like that are irreplaceable, man. It's not just like a sponsorship, just like in the halls, man. When you lose someone like that, my father just lost his sponsor. Guy was around 60 years in the program.
Wow.
But same thing. The amount, like, they called him the Pope of Dorchester. He's just, like, everybody knew him. And there's some famous people out of Boston that he's the sponsor of.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he just, his name was Budzo.
Budzo.
His real name was Danny Ryan, but he everyone knew him as Budzo because he couldn't remember your name, so he called you Budzo. He'd be, hey, Budzo. He called everybody Budzo, and so he became Budzo. And, he was like my grand sponsor. I've known him my whole life because he's my father's sponsor for so long. But I remember he came to my basketball games, and, I remember trying to tell him something that I think I'm full-heartedly right on. Right. And he's like, you're wrong. You're wrong. And he'd tell me those things I didn't want to hear, and he'd break it down for me in a way I could understand that I was not right. You know? And people like that in your life, man, are irreplaceable. So I feel for you, brother.
It's fine. I mean, he's been gone a while, and and I'm clicking along. Here we are, and I'm not too sober, Greg. I mean, just time is like one of those things. It's just I wasn't supposed to live this long, but okay, so I did, and now I have this time, but it doesn't mean anything. I don't think I'm any special or different than anybody else.
Right, one day at a time.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I think I may have some more wisdom from doing it wrong. that much I'll cop to. But as far as I'm not levitating yet. So
yeah. You're not floating through rooms, which you like to say.
Yeah, I didn't with my long hair and my cane and my robe. I'm not just kind of gliding around.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Chili pepper underwear, though.
Yeah, the chili pepper.
Yeah.
They like that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before ever. I just thought it was drawers with chilies on them.
No.
I didn't know it was because they're so warm. That's why.
They're just called hot chilies. And it's a brand.
Chilies.
It's a brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was imagining like a Guy Fury T-shirt type thing. Like,
So was I. Is exactly what I was
it's like-
picturing.
Yeah, see, as a chef, I was a chef, and I used to get really irritated about these dudes that wear these chef pants with peppers all over them, like vegetables and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't mean you're a better cook, dude. You know what I mean? It was like, dude, I found them to be a little annoying.
Right.
That's the black belt in me again. Chefs wear the black pants, and if you're not a chef, you get to wear the houndstooth checkered ones. And there's cook pants, there's chef pants. Don't pose. Don't be a poser.
I had no idea the dress code of the chef.
Oh yeah. Well, if there's 20 guys in the kitchen, how are you going to pick out the guys in charge?
I figure it's the guy yelling.
Also, you can tell by not every chef yells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people have their shit together and they're running a show.
Yeah.
But, it's typically the uniform dictates a little bit of the command.
Right.
Yeah. I was in the restaurant industry a long time before I got into this, and you want to talk about booze and drugs, man.
Oh.
That's the mecca in the restaurant industry, man. So
It's a lot of pressure all night long.
yeah.
And then it doesn't stop. When at the end of the night, I couldn't go to. I was shaking. I was so amped up. Like 3:00 in the morning. There's no way I'm sleeping. None.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to do it all over again. It was the thing about that industry is it's a quick fix. Instant gratification. Oh, you like that meal? Great. Here's another one. Here's another one. And you're just kind of like, it's like a fix. After a while, you just want to be great at it, and everyone's loving you, and it's like feeds your ego, and it's. Man, that was perfect for me. I loved it.
Yeah, sounds like you both did.
Yeah. Well, bartending, same thing. It's like you want to get that smile. You want to get that tip. You want to get that whole energy of the quick fix. It's like making a 3-pointer, dude. Oh, yeah, he knows.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Stuff with the 3-pointer.
All day.
And if you could hear it on the fucking loudspeaker, too, that was even better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Say it again.
Yeah.
Love it.
Give me some more of that.
Yeah, I never met a shot I didn't like. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, man, what a great show. If you're having a tough time quitting, whatever it is that you need to quit, you're not alone. There's apps and numbers and groups in your town, or you can call us if you want, 813-625-2532. Hit us up on Facebook. Taking that first step into a room or a chat or a group with people trying to get better just like you will be the best day of your life. Tommy, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Do you have any parting words or anything that you'd like to say before? Yeah. So rehab rehab, relapse, remorse, and recovery. Up early every day, blue skies all in front of me. Gratitude's the attitude, family and friends. I'm blessed to tell y'all about sober shenanigans now. You're not alone, you got groups almost everywhere. Trying your best, you're enough, don't even fake scared. It's a new life hack back where you ought to be. Bring your broke ass, come here, get recovery. Start from primo, shenanigang every day. Go and tell the world just no drinks today. Yeah, no drinks today.
And then eventually, and you know this, but I mean, when I lived in Vegas for like 4 or 5 years, it was like, and I came back to Florida, I'm like, those meetings in Vegas, man, they really knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? These Florida meetings, and then it wasn't, Tampa always had my heart, though. You know what I mean? Because that's where I started. That was my foundation. But, just dive in, man. Open up. Raise your hand. It seems like you're not going to have a problem with any of those things, but that's the secret sauce, man. Is try not to compare, but relate.
Definitely.
And just jump in, and this thing will pay you time and a half, right? Stuff.
Yep.
You do a little bit of work, man. You get paid time and a half. Doesn't matter what you do. Always getting paid time and a half. Awesome. So just put the work in.
And how many people do you affect?
Okay, so another one of my sayings is that. A guy said in a meeting that once he got sober, somebody told him that 10 people's lives just got better because he got sober. And I'm like, and now that I think about it today, it's a big number. It's like, wow, like a lot of people's lives got better. And, and I think there's something to that, whether I have to think about that. Like there was a lot of people I might've been hurting, and now that I'm not hurting them, for such a long time, it doesn't mean that I have to let go of that energy, and I need to think about other people all the time. That's an important thing for me.
Nice. I always like that one. Well, listen, thanks for listening to Sober Shenanigans, real talk and real recovery. Worry, anxiety, and fear, it's all up in here. So give yourself a break. You're enough, and you're doing great. I'm Stoff, and he's Primo. And remember,
no drinks today.
We're all in the same boat, fellas.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Shenanigans! After all that, shenanigans! Shenanigans! Shenanigans!
What's all this?
Officer Bob Brady, I would like to reinstate my previous shenanigans. This whole carnival is a ripoff.
Excuse me, but I agree. These rides are really stupid. Chamber of Farts isn't scary at all.
Okay, let's calm down. People of South Park, do you declare shenanigans on the carnival people?
Yeah!
Okay, carnival people, do you accept this decree of shenanigans?
What the hell are you talking about? This old town is screwy.
Well, that settles it. Everybody grab a broom. It's shenanigans!
So rehab, relapse, remorse, and recovery. Up early every day, blue skies all in front of me. Gratitude's the attitude, family and friends. I'm blessed to tell y'all about sober shenanigans now. You're not alone, you got groups almost everywhere. Trying your best, you're enough, don't even fake scared. It's a new life hack back where you ought to be. Bring your broke ass, come here, get recovery. Start from primo, shenanigang every day. Go and tell the world just no drinks today. Yeah, no drinks today.